Good morning and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Gordy Galusha.
I'm Nancy Ostrich.
Today we're taping our 303 program, which is really great, I think, that we made it this far. Well, anyway, today we're going to be making creamy ham casserole and a 7-layer cookie. I'm going to start off with Nancy sauteing her ham.
No, not quite yet.
Not quite yet?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, we're going to start off with Nancy.
Yeah, anyways. The ham doesn't go in yet. So I have a good sized fry pan here that I'm heating about a tablespoon or so of olive oil or canola oil, your choice. And I want to start sauteing a quarter of a cup of onion and a quarter of a cup of celery. About. So that will take a few minutes to cook this down. So while that is happening, it's time to turn it over to Gordy.
This morning I'm going to make a cookie which is called a 7-layer cookie. I don't know if anybody's ever had them before, but they're pretty good. So in my 9x13 pan, I have melted a quarter of a stick of butter. And in my butter, I am going to sprinkle some graham cracker crumbs, which I squished up last night. Just going to put it in here like this and spread it out on top of the butter. This is what it looks like when you spread your graham cracker crumbs on top of the butter that you melted. And I melted it in the oven, which takes, it is a little faster than putting it in the microwave. So there's my crumbs. I gotta spread it out a little bit more. Make sure that I've got an even layer. Okay. On top of that, I'm going to put some chocolate bits. It says a 6-ounce package of chocolate bits, and you can't buy a 6-ounce package anymore. They're all 12 or bigger. That's easier to do it this way. Okay. Okay, there's chocolate bits. Okay, I'm going to add the same amount of butterscotch bits. Actually, it's really fast and easy, but they're good. I hope you get a chance to try them. They won't be around very long. Then I'm going to sprinkle some coconut. And on top of that, I'm going to spread some sweetened condensed milk. Maybe. Doesn't want to come out this morning. Okay, come on. Gotta get
You want a spoon? Oh, you're right behind the spoons.
see if I can get the rest of it. No, it's not gonna. Doesn't want to run today. Of course not. Okay, and when this is all done, you put it into a 350-degree oven, and you bake it for 25 to 30 minutes. And when you take them out of the oven, you're not going to wait for them to cool down. They are very good. I don't know if you've heard of magic cookies, but they're almost on the same idea as magic cookies. We make a lot of these in the summertime. Okay, excuse me. Gonna put these in. I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes. Okay, now on to Nancy. Oh
Okay.
shoot, I forgot something. Excuse me.
Ah, you forgot your nuts. Ah. You only had 6 layers.
It's only 6 layers this time. Whoops. Okay. Hold on just a minute.
That was for people who are allergic to nuts.
Pardon me?
I said that was for people who are allergic to nuts. They don't
Yep.
put the last layer on.
That's right. If you are allergic, don't put on the last layer. Okay. I guess we're able to put it in the oven now and let it bake.
I'm ready to go to step number 2. I've cooked down my celery and onions. I got a little brown here, but that adds flavor to it. To the 2 vegetables, I'm going to add 2 cups of cubed ham. And I wish we had a show closer to Christmas, or I had the recipe that anybody that uses ham as their Christmas dinner will definitely, I'm sure, have ham left over. And what do we do with it? There are plenty of recipes out there, I'm sure. I don't come up with too many. I usually use macaroni and cheese with ham. This is a little different, of course. I am sauteing to heat up the ham. It's 2 cups of cubed ham, whatever size you. And meanwhile, I have already boiled up 8 ounces approximately of egg noodles or noodles, which I will drain now. Not quite ready to add them to the dish yet. I'm heating up now the ham in the fry pan. As that's cooking, I want to get 1 cup of sour cream. I'm using the light sour cream, but whatever your preference is. And also a regular size can, though they are making some larger Campbell's condensed cans of soup that I've noticed lately. But this is the 10.5 ounce of cream of mushroom. I'm going to add the soup. And the sour cream. I'd call this a comfort food. And we're going into taping this going into January. And we're having a cold spell. Not as bad as the Midwest, so we hear reported.
What would we do with all that snow that they're getting if we got it?
Oh, like living in western New York, probably the lakes.
Terrible. They postponed the Bills game last week because of the snow was 16 inches deep.
Yep.
And it was blowing like crazy.
Okay. Okay, the last thing we're going to add to this mixture now is about a 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. And if you use a little bit more, I don't see a problem. You know, I like to use, and I always shred my cheese from a block instead of buying the bag of shredded, unless, well, even, you know, your tacos and topping for, you can shred the, maybe not mozzarella. I usually buy a bag if I would need mozzarella. But your hard cheese, like cheddar, just grate it.
cheese is even getting expensive.
Okay, I'm going to put a little salt and pepper. My lemon pepper I use all the time, and I'm able to get it without salt. Not too much salt. Now I'm ready to add the noodles. Oh, the last thing that I don't buy because I never use it up is you could add a couple of tablespoons of pimento. It's not always easy to find for one thing, and it goes bad at home for me, so. Might also, I did not bring any garlic powder if you like to add some garlic for seasoning. That's another one of my favorite, garlic minced or powder. A little bit more.
I'll put it all
in. Okay. I have about a 1.5 quart casserole dish, whatever you have on hand, and we'll see if this all fits in it. Here we are. And that has been sprayed with cooking spray. Another thing you could add to this are some peas to make a green complement instead of red. And always try to make sure that this is nice and creamy now. And when I make mac and cheese, I try to make enough sauce, because if you keep it over any pasta with a sauce, tomato, cheese, white sauce, whatever, the pasta absorbs overnight, or if you're serving leftovers. And I do not like dry pasta. This is pretty creamy right now, and if you have leftovers, hopefully it'll stay pretty creamy. Now I have some more, half a cup or more of shredded cheddar, and I'm going to sprinkle it on the top. I'm going to cover this with aluminum foil and pop it in the oven. It can be 350, 375, because basically you're warming it up. The ham is cooked, and the celery and onion, so you want to get it heated through, kind of bubbly, and then when about 5 minutes left, I will uncover it and let it brown or melt more of the cheese on top. So I believe when we come back, we'll be at our table, because everything needs to bake now, and we'll see you at our table. Welcome back to our table on this 303 show. Today we made a couple of things. I made a creamy ham casserole, which I will talk about. It was pretty easy to put together. It's kind of like a comfort food, and if you, I could have done this if I had the recipe just after Christmas or around Christmas, when people might have had ham for their Christmas dinner, but this is in the middle of January, but we always have ham, so. And I started out by sauteing some celery and onion, and when that got cooked down soft, I added 2 cups of cubed cooked ham and warmed that up again. And meanwhile, I had cooked 8 ounces of egg noodles. And then to the ham mixture, I mixed in 1 can of cream of mushroom soup and 1 cup of sour cream and a half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and then added the noodles to it, mixed it well, poured it into a greased 1.5 quart, basically, casserole dish, and then sprinkled some more cheddar cheese on top, and put it into the oven, of course, and warm it through until it's nice and bubbly. And this is our casserole. Now, I kind of thought it might be interesting to talk about some ideas of, or that we know of healthful things, cooking additions and tips that you might know that if you wanted to send into the studio, that we could talk about it on our show. The side, so I'm starting with, my side is going to be applesauce. If you make applesauce, it's better than most of the time than canned or jars. But the thing is, I don't make the applesauce, but I like to buy applesauce with cinnamon in it. And it can be added, if you bought a regular applesauce, you can always put cinnamon in it. One thing that it does is it keeps the applesauce in the refrigerator longer without the applesauce going bad, getting moldy, getting, working, and because applesauce, cinnamon and apple is a preservative. And so if you don't buy it with the cinnamon in it, or you can add it, your applesauce is going to last longer in the jar in the refrigerator. Because we've had times, where we got it down to a quarter or whatever and didn't use it up, and you had to throw it away. The other thing cinnamon does, and I picked this up when I worked for a doctor. He talked about using cinnamon on your toast, in other things, in cooking as a metabolism, that it helps your metabolism, meaning blood sugars and other things. And we've picked up on it, and not only do we use it in foods, we also at home take 2 capsules a day, so we know that we're getting cinnamon every day. Now, some people maybe have tried it and say, gives me indigestion. Okay, don't do it. But it's an idea, and we have stayed with our blood sugars under control, though we have it in a family, on both our sides of the family. And so many people now, younger than you ever thought before, and you see the advertisements on the TV. How many diabetic commercials do you see? And if you can somehow don't go that route, you're in much better shape. So cinnamon does, and other spices will have other benefits. And if you've got, can write in and tell us what this, and this. We'll be glad to put it on, mention it on the show like I just did with cinnamon. So now that I've said my piece, I'm going to turn it over to Gordy.
Thank you. Today I made what called 7-layer cookies, and there is 7 layers to it. There was only almost 6, but we made it the 7. And what I did was I melted a half a stick of butter, and I put in a cup of graham cracker crumbs and put it in my dish and everything. So on top of that, I put chocolate dips and butterscotch bits and coconut and Borden sweetened condensed milk. And on top, I sprinkled some nice walnuts and baked it for between 25 and 30 minutes. But we had a little trouble with our oven today, but it got a little bit too cooked. So anyway, this is our dessert and our main dish. And if you would like any of these recipes, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Dalton Community Cable, 151 Park Avenue, Dalton, Mass. 01226. And that's all from our kitchen today. Have a great day.